Yo guys, what is going on? It is your boy Hollywood Steve back with another video. Today guys, we are going to be reviewing Monday Night Raw from Monday, and I apologize I did not get a video out yesterday for Monday Night Raw, but we're going to do it right here, right now, because I truly care about you guys. I care about my wrestling fans out there, so let's get things started. Oh, before I forget, like this video, give this video a big old fat thumbs up. Also guys, share this video, comment, and subscribe, guys. It really helps out the channel. Let's get to 5,000 subscribers on this channel, guys. I would really appreciate it. Alright, so here we go. This is from Bleacher Report. 5 days before the latest Saturday night's main event on the May 18th episode of Monday Night Raw, it was headlined by the latest Bloodline saga featuring Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu. What went down when the Tribal Chief returned to the flagship show to address the ongoing feud with his cousin? And what else went down that directly affected the company's latest primetime special? Let's find out. So, announced for Raw on Monday was Roman Reigns' response to Jacob Fatu, Women's Tag Team Championship, Brie Bella and Paige taking on Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez, the Obafemi Open Challenge, Tornado Tag Match between El Grande Americano Bravo and Rayo versus OG Americano, Julio and Berto. So, backstage, Roman Reigns arrived at the arena and was immediately confronted by Raw General Manager Adam Pearce, who tried to convince the OTC to do things his way. Their conversation, though, was interrupted by Jacob Fatu's music and the Samoan Werewolf's entrance. Fatu called out Reigns, but Jimmy and Jay Uso answered instead. The latter carried a chair and threatened physically. It was the former, though, who attempted to talk sense into his cousin, rightly pointing out that WWE was about to fire him. Jay tried to cheap shot and paid for it as Fatu wore both out, laying both down in the Tongan death grip. Head of the table played though, and Reigns made his way to the ring with the world title in hand. Roman said, "I accept," Reigns said, accepting the challenge, to the dismay of Pearce, who had been ready to fire Fatu. So, looks like we are going to get at Backlash. I believe it is Backlash. Yes, I believe it is. Yes, it's going to be a tribal combat match between Jacob Fatu and Roman Reigns. That is going to be good. That is going to be good. That is going to be really good. I like this twist on the saga now that we've added Jacob Fatu into it. I like it because there's, like we've said before, there's so many different ways that you could go with this, with this bloodline story. You have Jacob Fatu that you could add into it, which we've already done. You have, when Zilla Fatu arrives, you have Zilla. You have Zilla Fatu. So there's so many different angles that you could play with this storyline, and I think it's awesome. And then we got the, let me see here. Make sure we're okay. So then we got some more interaction between Finn and JD McDonough in their feud, as Finn has been ousted from the Judgment Day. So Finn is now, he's back to his regular trunks. He's back to his old music, and I love it. I love this Finn Balor. So let's dive in. The rivalry between mentor and protege wrote its last chapter Monday when the teacher Finn Balor battled the student JD McDonough in a street fight. The action spilled to the stands ahead of the commercial break, with the Irish Ace delivering a thrilling moonsault to his opponent. Back from the break, Balor fought and scratched his way back into the match, only to eat a let's see, I'm probably going to butcher this, a Busakayu knee, as McDonough cut off his momentum. McDonough retrieved a table and took too long to set it up, allowing Balor to recover. As he fended his opponent off on the ropes, Dominic Mysterio made his way to the ring, distracting Balor and allowing his Judgment Day teammate to deliver a big suplex through the side table. The heels beat down Balor in a 2-on-1 assault, only for the inaugural Universal Champion to dodge a 619 attempt, wipe out the heels, and deliver a coup de grace onto McDonough, who was trapped inside a trash can for the win. So obvious here, Balor was going to defeat JD. Balor was going to win. So I'm glad that they're finally I'm glad Finn finally got out of Judgment Day, and I hope this is a thing to where the next person to go is Dominic, and like I said, we get rid of this Judgment Day faction. We've had them for 4 years, and I think it's time for a change. Then next up, we got some backstage action. Backstage, Women's Intercontinental Champion Becky Lynch interrupted a Sol Ruca promo, only to be called out by her moments later in an in-ring promo. What stunt are you pulling here, making a holy show out of yourself? Lynch asked, bewildered and dumbfounded by the intestinal fortitude of her young prospective challenger. Ruca issued a challenge for a match between the two of them, but Lynch turned it down, worming her way out of a title defense. After putting herself on the back, she informed the babyface that she would face her at Saturday night's main event, but not for the title. Ruca, after all, did not earn a title shot. So Saturday night's main event, we're getting Becky Lynch versus Sol Ruca. That's gonna be a good match, because Sol Ruca is so good. Sol Ruca is so good. Then we got a tornado tag match between El Grande Americano, Bravo, and Rayo taking on the El Grande Americano, and Julio and Berto. And last time in action, El Grande Americano lost to Dominic Mysterio on the May 11th episode of Raw. The OG Americano, Bruto, and Julio defeated El Grande Americano, Bravo, and Rayo on the May 4th episode of Raw. Ahead of Saturday night's mask versus mask battle between El Grande Americano and the OG Americano, the two combatants led their teams into a tornado tag team match. Incredible athleticism from Julio and Berto Credo, who was on full display, entering the break with both taking flight and wiping out the competition on the floor. Later in the bout, they partnered with OG Americano to prevent their opponents from utilizing the metal plates inside their masks, downing them with a trio of German suplexes. The action broke down from there, with all six superstars getting into their trademark offense. Americano tossed the original into the timekeeper's area from there. From there, Bravo and Rayo leveled Bruto with the loaded masks, and their leader joined them from a trio for a trio headbutt to secure the win. So El Grande Americano, Bravo, and Rayo defeated OG Americano, Bruto, and Julio. So that mask versus mask. Ooh, that mask versus mask match is going to be so good. So good. We're finally going to get one of them to not have a mask anymore. And I hope for everything that is good and everything that is sacred that it's Chad Gable, because I can't take it. I am sorry. I'm sorry, guys, but I can't take Chad Gable seriously, because he has not taken this role as El Grande Americano as seriously as Ludwig Kaiser. Ludwig Kaiser, when he stepped into the role to fill in for Chad Gable when he had his shoulder surgery, Ludwig Kaiser dove in to this character. He wanted to make this character something massive, and he's done just that. I mean, the man learned Spanish to be able to speak Spanish in AAA when he goes and wrestles in Mexico in AAA, and when he wrestles on AAA, he learned Spanish to be able to speak Spanish fluently. So Ludwig Kaiser has dove himself headlong into this character, and he's found something as El Grande Americano, whereas Chad Gable is just kind of gracias, and his Spanish is ridiculously bad. So I myself will be rooting for El Grande Americano, not the original El Grande Americano. I will be rooting for El Grande Americano to defeat OG El Grande Americano. Let me know what you guys think in the comments who you guys think is going to be the winner this Saturday in the mask versus mask match with El Grande versus El Grande Americano versus OG El Grande Americano. Let me know. All right, then backstage, LA Knight interrupted the Usos promo and called them out for doing the same thing under Roman Reigns that they combated the Vision for doing. You do dirt, you get dirt, Knight warned his former teammates. From there, Michael Cole threw to a sit-down interview with All Ego Ethan Page, who handed the voice of WWE pre-made questions to be asked. Honor the request of the talent, Page told. Honor the request of the talent, Page told a resonant Cole. Cole stopped the charade, and a suddenly serious Page threatened to win the Intercontinental Championship from Penta on Saturday night's main event and rename it, further playing up his ego. Then we got the Women's Tag Team Championship match. Paige and Brie Bella taking on Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan of Judgment Day. Roxanne Perez of Judgment Day. And last time in action, Paige and Brie Bella defeated Julia and Kiana James on SmackDown on May 15th. Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez defeated Bayley and Lyra Valkyria on Raw on April 27th. And following last week's confrontation, Paige and Brie Bella defended the Women's Tag Team Championship against the Judgment Day's Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez. A hot start by the champs saw the babyfaces control the action early, only for the heels to down them and wrestle control of the bout, entering the commercial timeout. Back from the break, Paige created separation, sending Rodriguez out of the ring and onto the floor. She tagged Bella into the match. Brie unloaded with a series of yes kicks to the body of Perez and a middle rope dropkick for good measure. Interference from Morgan backfired as referee Jessica Carr ejected her from the ringside area. The distraction from that nearly allowed Perez to use a tag title belt on Bella, but the Hall of Fame ducked and rolled the Prodigy up for the win and successful title defense. The heels jumped the champions after the match, but Bayley and Lyra Valkyria made the save, keeping their own title contention alive. Backstage, Knight continued his accountability tour, calling Seth Rollins out and refusing to have his back against the Vision later in the night. The enemy of my enemy is not my friend. Then we got the Obafemi Open Challenge. Last time in action, Obafemi defeated Las Garza back on May 11th. Obafemi made his way to the squared circle for his weekly Open Challenge. Brock Lesnar shockingly appeared and attacked him from behind. The Beast Incarnate obliterated Femi with 4 F5s, laying out his WrestleMania 42 opponent and rendering his retirement obsolete. Lesnar walked out to a mixed reaction, looking back at his fallen prey to close out the segment. Wow. Okay. I did not. That is something that I would not have expected. I seriously, honestly thought that Brock Lesnar had retired. I fell for it. I fell for the ploy, for the play. I honestly thought that Brock Lesnar was legitimately retired. And then he shows up on Raw and attacks Femi? Holy moly, man. Okay, so does this mean... So I guess this means now that Brock is unretired? So this whole Brock retiring thing was just a ploy? Was just a you know, just I was like, I don't even know what this was. Just wow. So Brock is unretired. So are we gonna get at Clash in Italy? Are we going to get now Brock Oba 2? I for one am all for it. I for one am all for Brock Oba 2. Please give me Brock Oba 2. Please. I am all for it. All for it. 1,000,000%. So that, wow. All right, then we got Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins going up against Austin Theory. And just to refresh your guys' memory, last time in action, Rollins lost to Braun Breaker at Backlash on May 9th. Austin Theory, Logan Paul, and Braun Breaker lost to Joe Hendry and the Street Profits on Raw on May 11th. Without backup and sensing urgency to even the odds with the Vision, Seth Rollins launched himself through the ropes and onto Austin Theory to kick off Monday Night Raw, Monday's main event. The Architect dominated the action early on, much to the delight of the fans. An attempted running boot to the face, though, was countered by Theory who sent Rollins' foot and ankle into the ring post. The heel seized control of the bout. Logan Paul took a cheap shot at Rollins' lower leg, and Theory sent him into the timekeeper's position as the ladder rolled. Entering the final commercial break of the night, Rollins countered his way back into the ring, into the match, and set up for the pedigree, only for the World Tag Team Champion to counter out of it and drop his longtime rival. Later, Paul once again interfered, allowing Theory to deliver a stomp and nearly defeat the babyface with his own finishing maneuver. Paul handed Theory the brass knuckles to utilize, but Rollins delivered a super kick and retrieved the weapon. The referee prevented him from using them. Just as Rollins delivered a super kick to Paul, a pedigree to Theory earned Rollins the hard-fought come from behind victory. After the match, Angelo Dawkins made the save for Rollins as the tag team champions beat him down. Paul and Theory beat him down, leading to Montez Ford making the save for his tag team partner. Ford earned a big pop as he fired up and leapt over the ring post onto the heels. He took exception to Dawkins saving Rollins and ate a spear from Braun Breaker, who hit the ring to make the save. Braun Breaker and the Architect brawled, with the latter raking Breaker's eyes to earn the upper hand. Paul once again interjected himself, allowing his teammate to spear Rollins and put him down. So that was Monday Night Raw, guys. Like I said, I had not gotten a chance to watch it, so I pulled up the Bleacher. I pulled this up, but hey, that was wow. That Monday Night Raw, woo! And I keep saying this, guys. I will do it. I'm committing to this, guys. Tuesday, next Tuesday, I will have a video for Monday Night Raw. I will have my own review of Monday Night Raw. I will make that a guarantee for you guys. I will make sure that I watch Raw on Tuesday, and give you guys a review. But that was Monday Night Raw, guys. Let's continue with last night's episode of NXT, and holy, let's just dive right in to the review. So the first match was Tony D'Angelo and Miles Bourne versus Mason Rook and Cam Hendricks. And last time in action, for the first time, Tony D'Angelo and Miles Bourne teamed up in NXT. And this was the debut of both Mason Rook and Cam Hendricks on NXT. While Rook and D'Angelo collided confidently in explosive exchanges, a strong chop block from Hendricks behind the referee's back allowed Rook and Hendricks to isolate and wear down Bourne. When D'Angelo got the hot tag, he was rolling Rook, and he was rolling until Rook dived onto him with a running senton. Bourne tagged back in, followed by a massive brawl. Tavion Heights tried to help Bourne, but accidentally bumped into him. This set up Rook for a corner Death Valley driver, followed by a fireman's carry power slam. Hendricks got the blind tag and stole the pin from Rook. While Rook struggled to fully stand out on the mic, he was the star of the match. He is explosive and electric in the ring, making the most of his size, whether he's running, diving, dropping his opponents. He and D'Angelo instantly sold their coming battle for the NXT Championship as a future premium live main event. Absolutely. Next, we got Lola Vice defending her women's NXT Women's Championship against Izzy Dame and Ren Sinclair. Against Izzy Dame. But Ren Sinclair lays out Kalani Jordan as well. Kalani Jordan questioned what she had to do to get an NXT Women's Championship opportunity. Izzy Dame interrupted to make her case for a title shot, which brought out Lola Vice. The champion agreed to defend the title against Dame next week before Kendall Gray arrived. She distracted Lonnie from an attack by Ren Sinclair with her crutch. Why does NXT insist on these interruption promo segments? True, there is a lot of them. I will say that there is a lot of them, or promo time. Promo segments. And I agree, they never go well for anyone and often make one or more of the competitors look bad. So in this case, Jordan stumbled through her solo promo time, and she and Dame got nowhere with their bickering. Vice also struggled to deliver confident mic work. While her time was short, Gray was the closest to coming out of this looking good, despite the loss last week. And the crowd support further emphasized the popularity and comparison to the field of challengers. After the build-up, throwing Vice versus Dame into a one-on-one title match for a random TV episode next week is bizarre, though Great American Bash is not until July. The plan may be to build up a multiple women match for the next PLE. I could see that. I could definitely see that going down. And then we got Tristan Angel versus Romeo Moreno with Noam Dar in his corner. That's right. We got the return of Noam Dar last week. So last time in action, this was the debut match for both Tristan Angels and Romeo Moreno. Though these two men had previously fight and Evolve on April 18th, or on April 8th, where Angels defeated Moreno. Moreno fought hard against the debuting Cocky Angels, helped by the distraction of Shiloh Hill in the crowd. However, Mr. England would not be denied in his debut match, sealing the victory with a rocker dropper. Afterward, Angels mocked Hill, who responded by declaring his plan to become Mr. NXT. This was a competitive match despite barely going over 5 minutes. Romeo actually looked better than Angels in terms of pure in-ring action. Both men, though, showed why NXT is relying upon them as Evolve call-ups. Angels' feud with Hill has potential, though their interaction after the match was bizarre amateur theater that would not work outside of developmental. Both men are likely to do better work in the ring than on the mic, and the crowd was at least into it all. Despite Noam Dar coming out in Romero's corner for the match, he did not factor into the match. Then we had the North American Champion Tatum Paxley taking on Izzy Rain. And last time in action, Izzy Rain and Tatum Paxley defeated Nikita Lyons and Zarya back on May 12th. This was a wild, high-energy contest where the crowd was behind the champion, both champion and challenger. Rain started... Gosh, gee whiz, guys, I can't read. Rain started to wear down Paxley with her machine gun chops and Samoan drop for a near fall. Tatum caught Rain diving, then went for the cemetery drive. But the champ countered into a headbutt. The two women exchanged near fall pin attempts before Paxley transitioned into cemetery drive for the win. Afterwards, Zarya arrived to lay out both women and stand tall again with the Women's North American Championship. This was a fantastic match, delivering great, pure in-ring action. This stands among Paxley's best matches this year. And instantly elevated Rain despite the loss. By the end, it was clear that it was not yet time to move Paxley as champion. But Rain is a future champion in the making. It was also nice to see a clean finish despite the obvious interference looming from Zarya. Paxley deserved the clean win, and Rain can rebound easily from the loss. Paxley versus Zarya feeling big time and needs the proper spotlight. It will be very different. It will be a very different match than this one, and will be more about the heat between the competitors than pure athleticism. It is hard to call who walks out champ, but Zarya might need that win more than this stage, more at this stage in her career, in her rising career. In this stage of her rising career, which I do agree with. Zarya, you know, she needs, I think she might need to have this win, but overall, NXT, man, I am loving the call ups, guys. I really am loving the call ups from NXT, or I mean from Evolve. I mean, and some of these independent guys, holy crap! I mean, Kim Hendricks from LFG. I mean, dang, you know, like, wow. Some of these guys are amazing. Some of these guys are absolutely incredible, absolutely amazing. But hey, guys, that is going to do it for this video. I will have my own review next week of Monday Night Raw and NXT. And I will have a review Saturday for SmackDown. And I will be watching the Mask versus Mask match. And I will have a review of that on the AAA PLE on YouTube. I will have a review of that, guys. This is your boy, Hollywood Steve, saying I will catch you guys next time. And remember, when you're Hollywood Steve, you're just too short.